Morning Southwest Junior High. We are going to look at AMI Day 19 for 8th grade math. So in this problem, we are trying to find the diagonal of a three-dimensional object, and we are going to apply the Pythagorean theorem in order to do that. For most of us, we probably have not heard exactly what the Pythagorean theorem is, and so let's start with that. So the Pythagorean theorem says that if I have a right triangle, that a leg squared plus a leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. Well, what does that mean? What's a leg? A leg is a side of the triangle that forms the right angle. So A and B are both legs, and then C, this hypotenuse, that always sits opposite of the right angle. C is always, or the hypotenuse is always the longest side. And so we have this A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So how do we use this? Well, for today, we're only going to be looking for the hypotenuse. So let's say that I gave you the lengths of the legs and I said, okay, find the hypotenuse. Well, you would plug 3 and 4 in for A and B. It doesn't matter which you choose for A and which you choose for B because they're both legs. So let's put 3 in for A and 4 in for B and solve for C. So we would square our legs first. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. We would add 9 and 16 together to get 25. So 25 equals C squared. Well, how do we solve for C? We take the square root of both sides, and C equals 5. So that's just a really easy example of how we apply the Pythagorean theorem. So let's go back to our document here. Let's go back to our document here. So, as we look at this problem again, I would tell my students before we could find AG, we need to find the diagonal of the base. We need to find AC. So I'm going to redraw that triangle over here. And so that triangle has a leg of 5 and a leg of 7. And we are looking for AC. So AC is the hypotenuse. So Pythagorean theorem says that 5 squared plus 7 squared equals C squared. So 5 squared is 25, 7 squared is 49. So C squared is equal to 74. We would take the square root of both sides, and C would equal 8.6. Now that we know that C is 8.6 or AC is 8.6, now we can look to find AG. And so if I look at this triangle, I once again get a right triangle. And so I'm going to pull that out so you can see it better. This is AC, which is 8.6. This GC is the same as that height over there, and so now we can find AG, which is what we're trying to find. So how would we do that? We would square the legs, 8.6 cubed plus 3, not cubed, sorry, 8.6 squared plus 3 squared equals C squared. Of course, 8.6 squared, we already know that that is equal to 74. 3 squared is 9. So 74 plus 9 equals 83. And so if we take the square root of both sides, once again, we get the exact same thing that the formula produced, which was 9.11. So once again, the main thing we're doing, what we're trying to answer on, number one, which figure you think has the longer diagonal? So that's kind of a guess. What do you think and why do you think it? And then number two, we're actually going to do the Pythagorean theorem twice, or we're going to just simply apply the given formula for Pythagorean theorem in 3D. Hope this helps, guys. If you have any questions, email your teachers or join the Zoom this afternoon. Have a good day.